is it, kids? The big time. Glitter, strobe lights, and enough polyester to stop a bullet, Larry announced, doing a mediocre version of the hustle in the middle of the living room. I love disco. Chrissy squealed, already mentally cataloging her sparkliest outfits. Jana was more hesitant. I don't know. Larry, the last time you took us to a VIP event, we ended up cleaning the windows of a car wash. This is different. I know the owner. He's a former client. Sold him a gremlin with a sunroof. We're in. The trio spent the evening getting ready. Jack spent an hour trying to get his hair to stay in a perfect 70s feathering, while the girls argued over who got to wear the blue eyeshadow. Downstairs, the Ropers were having a different kind of evening. Stanley was trying to fix a leak in the bathroom, while Helen was staring longingly at an advertisement for a disco dancing class in the local paper. Stanley, why don't we go out tonight? The kids upstairs are going to that new place, the Funky Flamingo. We could show them how it's done, Helen suggested. Stanley snorted. Disco. That's for people who like to walk in place and sweat. I did enough of that in the Army. Besides, my knees don't hustle anymore. You used to be such a good dancer, Stanley. Remember the high school prom? You were like a young Gene Kelly. I was like a young man who wanted to get the dance over with so we could go get burgers. Stanley grumbled, but Helen was persistent. She managed to guilt Stanley into putting on his one fancy suit of brown checkered number that had been out of style since the Nixon inauguration, and they followed the trio to the club. The Funky Flamingo was a neon-soaked dream. The music was deafening, the floor was lit from beneath with changing colors, and the air was thick with the scent of perfume and sweat. Jack, trying to look cool, immediately walked into a mirrored wall. I'm okay, just checking the structural integrity. Larry disappeared within minutes, chasing after a group of women in sequin jumpsuits. Jana and Chrissy were immediate hits on the dance floor, their natural grace making everyone else look like they were struggling with a mild electrical shock. The trouble started when Stanley and Helen arrived. Stanley, feeling out of place and defensive, decided he needed to prove he was still hip. He marched onto the dance floor and began a series of movements that looked like a combination of a seizure and someone trying to shake a hornet out of their pants. Stanley, stop! You're scaring the tourists, Helen hissed, though she was secretly enjoying the attention. Jack, seeing his landlord making a spectacle of himself, tried to intervene. Mr. Roper, maybe we should head to the bar. They have very quiet drinks over there. Get lost, Tripper. I'm in the groove. I'm the king of the flamingo, Stanley shouted, spinning around and accidentally knocking into the DJ booth, causing the record to scratch and stop. The silence in the club was sudden and terrifying. The DJ, a man with a gold chain thicker than a boat anchor, looked down at Stanley with narrowed eyes. Who's the turkey? the DJ asked over the microphone. Jack, seeing a chance to save the night and his lease, jumped onto the stage. He's not a turkey. He's a legendary dancer from the East Coast. He's doing the Roper Shuffle. It's the next big thing. The crowd looked skeptical. Jack began to dance alongside Stanley, turning Stanley's clumsy movements into a sort of comedic duo routine. Jana and Chrissy joined in, and soon the whole club was laughing and cheering, thinking it was a planned performance. The night ended with the trio and the Ropers sharing a massive bowl of nachos at a late-night diner. Stanley was beaming, convinced he had started a new national trend. You saw them, Helen. They loved me. The Roper Shuffle is going to be bigger than the Macarena. Stanley bragged, oblivious to the fact that the Macarena wouldn't exist for another 20 years. Helen patted his hand, her eyes meeting Jack's across the table. You were wonderful, Stanley. And Jack, thank you for the backup. As they walked back to the apartment building, the neon lights of Santa Monica fading behind them, the trio felt a strange sense of accomplishment. They had survived another week, another Larry scheme, and another Roper disaster. Chapter 7, The Commercial Break and the Giant Fruit. The Monday following the disco fiasco started with an unusual phone call for Jack, an old acquaintance from the culinary school, who had transitioned into the world of advertising, was looking for a relatable, expressive face for a local television spot. It's an audition. Girls, I could be the face of Southern California, Jack announced, practicing his smoldering look in the hallway mirror. Jana, however, was skeptical. Jack, you're a chef, not an actor. What is the product? Is it a high-end restaurant? A new line of silverware? It's a secret. They want to maintain the artistic surprise of the audition, Jack said, waving his hand mysteriously. Chrissy clapped her hands. Oh, Jack, imagine. We'll be watching The Price is Right and suddenly there you are. Can I be your agent? I've been practicing my tough guy voice. Maybe stick to the typing. Chrissy, Jack suggested gently. The audition took place in a cramped studio in Burbank. Jack arrived, wearing his best sweater, only to be ushered into a dressing room where a costume awaited him. It wasn't a chef's taqua or a silk suit. It was a 6-foot-tall, bright yellow, foam-padded lemon suit. You've got to be kidding me, Jack whispered to his reflection. The director, a man with a beret and a megaphone that he used even when he was standing 2 feet away, was ecstatic. Tripper, you are the zesty lemon. I want to see the sourness. I want to see the pucker. Now, squeeze into the frame and tell the world, life gave me lemons, so I made zesty soda. Jack spent for hours rolling around on a green screen, trying to look zesty while struggling with the aerodynamic limitations of being a giant citrus fruit. He returned home exhausted, smelling faintly of synthetic rubber and shame. How was it? Jana asked, hiding a smile as she saw a stray yellow featherweight. Lemons don't have feathers a yellow foam fragment on Jack's shoulder. Let's just say my acting career has reached a peak. Or a peel, Jack groaned, collapsing into a chair. The trouble began when the commercial actually aired. Larry, ever the